Good afternoon, everybody. Doug Jenkins live from the Findlay-Hancock County Chamber of Commerce as we celebrate member anniversaries. Kelsey Heitkamp of Burlwick & Co. joining us, a 5-year Chamber of Commerce member now. Kelsey, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
It's about to be a big evening in downtown Findlay with the United Way passport going on, so I appreciate you taking the time. But we really, it's a lot has happened in 5 years for you. I thought it would be just kind of fun to recap how this all got started and became Burlwick.
Yeah. Yes, we have evolved over the last 5 years. So 5 years ago, I took the leap to get out of my home office and move to a little studio spot just around the corner on Crawford. And our business name that you would have seen on that location is KHID. And that's when we were really kind of concentrating more on the commercial design projects. And about a year and a half after that, we opened up the spot next to us on Crawford for a small floor and wall showroom and little kind of retail area. And kind of along that process, we opened up our services to residential design, which kind of then became the inspiration and the need for a retail store for those larger pieces like furniture, other home goods. And in the process of opening up the residential design portion, we decided to rebrand and kind of have like two separate wings or divisions. So KHID is our commercial division, and then Burlwick & Co. is our residential.
And a great spot there on Main Street. The thing I like
Yeah.
about your location is, one, it's very busy. It's a lot of foot traffic for you, but also I just love the building you're in, that being the old Finders
Mhm.
building. There has to be a unique business in there in my mind. And certainly
Yeah.
having you and the axe throwing place, Axe Ventura, right next to each other in that
Uh-huh.
spot, that really fits the bill for me. I just, there's got to be personality in that building.
Yes, it's always been a very great and well recognized building, and love to see it, revitalized for new and current purposes. And we love being a part of it. Yep.
So like you said, you started the storefront and you have the retail side of everything now. And of course, that means you have to, not that you didn't have to before, but even more so, have to stay on top of ever-changing trends when it comes to interior design and what people are looking for. What have you seen change in just the 5 years since you got started with the storefront?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, every year it seems like, the drivers of the trends are coming out with, basically color of the year, for example, and all the different shades and the textures and all that. So yeah, it's really our job to kind of do some forecasting on our own, and to see what's new, to see what has yet to reach our area, because the Midwest overall just tends to be a little behind any kind of trends, really. So yeah, we do a lot of research on that end, and then from there we kind of have our own and build our own collection, based on, not only aesthetics and, tones and textures and all that, but also functionality, and, how well it's going to work in day-to-day lives of people.
Talk a little bit through the commercial side too. You guys helped us out here when we did our remodel at the chamber and everything. We certainly get a lot of compliments when people come into the welcome center there and everything. But what is the process if we're a business and you've worked with several other business too, want to come in? Hey, we want to freshen things up. Walk me through that first meeting and the things that you want to know before you move forward with any sort of design.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a really good question, Doug. Thank
I
you.
aim for
So
one every
um
interview, so we hit it.
good. So yeah, the biggest thing I think I want people to know is that design is just more than kind of the end result, right? So it's more than just the paint color or the finishing touches. So there are reasons behind why renovations are done, whether it's for a business or a home, and there's usually a driving force. Sometimes it's a problem that they're having that they want solved, whether it be function, just maybe kind of lack of communication or connection between, clients or other people living in the home. So we really go through a discovery phase as the first part of kind of, intro into a new project. And that's to really get to know the client, who will be using the space, and what some of the problems that they're facing now are. So then we can really do our due diligence to provide a solution. Because if something is pretty at the end of the day, at the end of the project, but in the day to day, whether it's in the workspace or the home, if it doesn't work functionally, it doesn't matter how good it looks.
Right.
It's not going to be a good solution. So that's the main thing that we drive the projects by, and that's what we dig into from the very beginning.
So it's definitely more than saying, "Hey, everybody's really into stripes right now. You should do stripes." I don't know if stripes are what people are into right now. It's the only thing I can
Yeah,
think of.
yeah.
But you have to marry that form and function. How hard is it to balance that? Here are some of the current trends versus here's what's going to be a little bit more timeless, and try and thread that
hmm
needle. I have to imagine
hmm
there's a fine line to walk there.
Yes, there certainly is. And, I think that's where our own personal expertise comes in here, not only myself, but my other designer page. And, that's kind of where we adapt the trends that we see coming and what we've learned from past trends. And we adapt them to each one of our clients as to how it will best be utilized, and really kind of marry that with their personal style, and kind of which direction they lean. Whether they like more of a contemporary look or a traditional look, colors or neutrals,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So it's kind of a conglomeration of trying to obviously make it look like an update and that it was just newly done, but at the same time kind of have that more of a timeless look to it. So I think the key really is like keeping all the parts in mind, but not really going all in hard on one direction or one specific design element. So it's more of a balanced approach.
All right, last question. I'm gonna put this to the test. Last question for
Okay.
you. A real world example. Let's say you were helping my wife and I with something. I am more of a minimalist. The less things, the better for me. My wife
Mhm.
really likes a home style, sort of farmhouse feel. She grew up on a farm and everything. How do you blend? How do you work with a client to try and blend styles, especially if they have contrasting views?
Yeah, yeah. So a
Or
lot of that
how do
might
you tell my wife that I'm right? Is probably she's not watching. It's cool.
Well, I do have to tell people sometimes we are not marriage counselors here. Um, that subject comes up more than you might believe. Um, no, but so that might be done maybe in, say if we're doing a living room, so that might be done maybe in the scale of the furniture, or maybe the fabric or leather choice on the furniture, the scale, the textures. So if they're kind of more monochromatic, that
Mhm.
might seem more clean line, more modern to you. But then we can build upon that with more texture and interest, and maybe utilize some color in some of the softer pieces, the more accessory pieces. So yes, that is it's kind of funny. Some people, they'll come to us and they'll tell us a specific style that they like, and they may find out, yeah, I don't really care for that actually. I care for more of what you proposed. So it's funny how different kind of styles or trends can mean something different to everybody.
Well, it's
So
all
it's quite an exercise to kind of get to the bottom of that and find something that works for all parties. Yeah.
well, it's good to have an expert to be able to run that by. Kelsey, if people want to learn more about Burlwick and Co., what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we're pretty active on both Facebook and Instagram. So just Burlwick Co. And you can stop by our store at 405 South Main Street here in downtown Findlay. Or our website is burlwick.com. So it's BURLWICK.com.
Very good. Well, thanks again
Yep.
for joining us. Thank you for being a member for 5 years now, and
Yeah.
best of luck for the next 5.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, for Kelsey, I'm Doug. Have a great afternoon, everybody. We will see you next time.